Hello, welcome to Divorce in Utah. I'm your host, Paula Whitaker, and today we're going to talk about you don't have to divorce your money too. But before we talk about that, let me do a little housekeeping items. So, I am working on our first dating event, and it's at the end of September, and I am still getting all the little details worked out. But plan for the last Friday in September around dinner time in about 2 hours, okay? And I will start pre-selling tickets to that. And if you weren't with me last week, what it is, it's going to be speed dating. And then you're going to pick your top 5 people that you would like to know more about from the speed dating. And then with those people, we'll have 5 different courses and you will be served food blindfolded. And you will eat each a different course with that person or with one of those people. So it's going to be really fun and exciting. So hopefully you can make it and you can buy tickets and it'll be great. So that's coming up. And then also our online win groups are Wednesdays at noon every Wednesday. And so if you want to be a part of that, make sure to register. And if you've registered, then you've gotten the email, and I sent an email invite to add to your calendar so you don't forget. Okay, so I think I've done everything on my part. If there's anything else that you need me to do, let me know. And I think that's it for now. So the summer's coming to an end. We're getting ready to start school. Everyone's trying to cram in their last vacation. So I know how busy it gets. So I will be quick, and I know how valuable your time is. So, okay, you don't have to divorce your money too. So I kind of separated this into 3 different areas. So I did before your divorce, what you should focus on, during your divorce, and after your divorce. And you can do these, you don't have to just do these things during your divorce. You don't have to do them before. You could do some of these things before. So this is what my suggestions would be. So before your divorce, if you're thinking about getting a divorce and you're wondering how you're going to do it, you need to gather as much knowledge as you can. And you can do this by reading books, listening to podcasts, joining Facebook groups, coming to the WIN online groups, and so you can be knowledgeable on what is about to happen, okay? So that's what I did first, and I think the Dewey Decimal, I didn't write it down, but I knew I would go to the library and I would look up divorce, and if you go to the nonfiction section, I think it's 306, but I'll have to look. So I would know exactly where all the books on divorce were at each library, and I would just go look to see what they had and check out a bunch. Okay, so the caution about that, if your children can read and they don't know that you're thinking about that or what's going on, then you need to be very careful about where you put these books. So that's just my caution. So maybe you can do Audible, maybe you could do podcasts, that would be better, and then Facebook groups. So that's my caution to you with the books that have, a good divorce. And then your kids see that and go, what? So, and it was always so super fun when I went to go get my books at the Davis County Library, and they would hold them back there. And then I'd have like 6, because I would request them. And then I'd have like 6 books about divorce, and the ladies checking me out. And I'm like, I felt violated somehow, because I thought, where's your self-checkout so I can do this myself? But so you need to do that. And the other things you need to do is collect your tax information. So if you did not do your taxes before and you just signed, find out where they are online. Just find your tax information, okay? Because that's very important to know how the settlement's going to go. And you might want to do the Utah Child Support Calculator. That's online. And just to see where you're going to start, okay? So that will give you a base. And just so you know, if there's a non-working spouse, the default is minimum wage. And the default is 70-30 for the custody arrangement. From what I heard is, if you want to go lower than that, you usually have to prove that they're like unfit or something, and I don't know if you want to go, I didn't go down that road. So 70-30 is the default. So that means whoever the main parent gets 70%, and then the other parent gets 30%, and they calculate that in the child support calculator. Okay, so that's why they do that. Okay, open a checking account or a credit card in just your name if you don't have one. Everyone should have that no matter what. That should happen no matter what. I didn't have that. I didn't have either. I had a joint, and then everything was joint, and that was bad. So do that no matter what, divorce or not. That will help your credit because you're separating everything at this point, and it's so emotional, but just do it, okay? Don't get a job, and I've said this before, don't get a job if you have children at home and if you've been a stay-at-home parent. If you've been, for most of your marriage, whatever you have done for most of your marriage, stay put and do that. Because that is what the income you're used to, that's what you guys have done. So if you can, and I know there's tons of hardships and tons of people who, can't, but try not to change anything financially before or during your divorce, okay? All right, so during your divorce, you want to make a budget, okay? There is a free budget worksheet at womensdivorce.com and /free budget worksheets. And you need to list your expenses and your income because you need to know exactly where you're starting, and that'll help you. So if you are not used to doing the budget and you're not used to doing any of the financials, you need to start learning. You need to get right, because you need to know all of this during your divorce because you need to know what is realistic on what you can live on and what you can't. So get your worksheet done. This is a good time too to shop around for, hi Daylene, to shop around in Landon. Thanks for coming. So this is a good time to shop around for a tax guy. If you never did the taxes, if your ex did the taxes or whatnot, you're gonna have to do your own taxes. So start asking friends, families, find some good people you trust, and then go talk to these people to do your taxes and see. You don't need to have them done, but just find out if you like them, how much they cost. You need to budget for all of this. Health insurance, same thing. Find out how you can get health insurance, where you can get it, what's affordable, and that needs to be put in your budget as well. Figure out how you're going to manage your own 401k. Okay, so in most divorces, you get half of the 401k. So if I had a 401k and he had a 401k, we would both split it in half and it would go to each other. If one of us had it for joint, it's split in half. Each of you get half. And so if you don't have a job or you don't have anywhere to transfer that to, you don't want them to write you a check. They will write you a check, but you want to put it in a traditional IRA account. You can open one up at TD Ameritrade. So TD Ameritrade. You can open up, and it's free, open up a traditional IRA account. So when you get a check, you put it directly in there. Okay, so you need to set that up. And then I've lost my place. Okay, then you need to also redo your trust or your will. So if you keep it the same, then your ex will get half of everything. So find some people that you trust. Again, this is where you ask around and find out who your friends are using to find someone to help you with that. Then you need to separate your car insurance. So I had Allstate and I called them up and said, we're getting a divorce. We're not final, but I want to separate it now. And I want to know how much that'll cost me. And so I did all of that, and that took a little bit. Okay, so separate your car insurance and your phone plan if that's not already separated. So a lot of times you can go under your other family members or find friends or a group to make it cheaper and affordable. So find out your options on that. Get your home appraised, and that can be free. So find out who find some friends or ask your friends who they would recommend to get your home appraised. Then you need to figure out how you're going to make more money. You don't start doing it, but you figure it out, okay? So look into how much it's going to cost if you need to go back to school. What career are you going to do? How long is it going to take? Where are you going to go? There's lots of options. So I was going back to the University of Utah. I was going to do that. And it was going to cost me $15,000 and a year and a half to finish my communications degree. And my communications degree wasn't going to really get me a certain job. So like, I can understand if you're going to go be a nurse or you're going to be a teacher, then you need that certificate. But the communications degree, I do marketing, and that didn't really, it was just for the sake of having a degree. And so I looked into online school. I think it's called Western Governors University. If someone knows it, will you type that in for me? I think it's Western Governors University. It's an online school that you can, it's got a different arrangement. You don't pay per semester, you pay per class, and then you can take it, and then if you finish it, you continue. I don't know, I can't remember, but that one, I looked into that as well. So there's lots of options. So start researching, start looking at your options for going back to school. What do you want to do? What's realistic? Are you going to be able to go do an 8-to-5 job, and are your kids old enough? Or do you want to do a part-time, or what do you want to do? Did anyone type that in? I don't see. Okay, so the next one, I think it's Western Governors University. Hi, Larissa. Okay, so find that out. There's a lot of online training for so many things. I have a friend that worked at Amazon, and he gifted me AWS, it's basically Amazon's cloud. So it's their server. And I did the training, and I learned a couple things. One, very interesting. So I know a little bit, of the terminology and whatnot, and kind of now how to converse with people who are using AWS. And two, that I did not want to do that for my career. I mean, it was fine to learn, but no way. That would have been very boring for me. But knowledge is power, and so the more knowledge you have, the better. So it was something to kind of keep me distracted. So find out, there's tons of free training. And I think we have a resource in Davis County. Daylene, if you're on here, will you type in that place that you went to that has all the free classes for people who want to start their own business? I think that's what it was. So there's lots of different places that are free. And if anyone knows any other places, please feel free to type them in the comments. So start doing that. Start learning and getting yourself educated. If you need distractions, drive Uber or Lyft. I did that. I only did it from 10 to 2, like a couple days a week. And it was great because I talked to people and I learned about their jobs and what they did. And at the time, I think I wanted to be an event planner. And so I picked up this lady who had just sold her company in California to someone else for $1 million or whatnot. And she gave me all these suggestions and great advice. Of course, I didn't do it at the time because that's not what I wanted to go into, but I was thinking about it, and had I done it, I had great information right there. So I didn't make money driving Uber or Lyft because I only did it in the middle of the day while my kids were at school, and I only did it a couple days a week, but it was a great distraction. Learned a bunch of stuff, met a bunch of people. I really enjoyed it. And it kept my mind off of what was going on. So again, don't get a full-time job, or keep the job you currently have. Don't make any big changes while you're going through your divorce, okay? Let's see. Yes, Daylene says it's GCF Learn Free, offers free classes. Go online. Thank you, Daylene. This is awesome. Okay, so everyone can see that comment. So that's a place you can go to. Okay, so you know what? When you're going through your divorce, the person's who emotions are not controlling him has the most power, okay? So it's so hard when you're going through a divorce because that's the person that you trusted, that you thought you were going to spend the rest of your life with, and now they've broken your heart, or you've moved on or whatever. It's painful for both. You have pain for one, you might have guilt for the other person because they've moved on, who knows? But it is very painful and very emotional. And so if you can do whatever you can to look at your divorce as a business negotiation deal and look at long-term things, Don't just give up and go, oh, I don't care, just give them whatever they want. You will later. And don't go, I want everything. I hate this person and they've ruined my life. That's not going to help you either. You have to be neutral, and all the people that are working with you, the mediators, the lawyers, the financial people, they will respect and kind of pay the most attention and think this person's very level-headed, to the one who's calm, who doesn't bring in a lot of emotions and can think without letting their emotions be the first thing that they're thinking with. So I just kind of screwed that up. But anyway, if you can, that will help you out. Also, you know your ex better than anyone. You've been married to them for a while, usually. So you know what motivates them, and you know how they're going to react. So for example, my ex did not do well when I cornered him. When I got him cornered, he started, I asked for a lot. That's what my lawyer said to do. They say start high, then you'll go down low. And he was vicious. And I thought, it's because he's a fighter. He doesn't fight. And I thought, I'm going to go nowhere here, because it was just a battle and we were going nowhere and we're both stubborn. So I got rid of my lawyer and I read some books and I started negotiating on my own, and it was so much better. So you know your ex and you know how they're going to respond and how they're going to act. Use it. Okay, use it. That's knowledge and if you let that go and let your emotions control you, then it won't work out and it'll be horrible. Even if you get a lot and they don't, it's never going to be great. It's never going to be good down the road, because then you're going to have to deal with this person and they'll hate you and you'll hate them, and it's not a win-win. So make sure, if you can, to try and separate your emotions. Okay, I also said to shop around for an attorney. If you need to shop around for an attorney, go ahead. This is where going to the WIN groups would be beneficial to you. You can go to them, of course, before your divorce as well, because then you can talk to people there and find out who they used, if they liked them, how much they cost, what your options are, because there is a lot of options that I did not know about. And I'm going to add them in the show notes here. But so some local resources we have are, if your divorce is just about financial things, you have already worked out the parenting contract and you're totally fine, then here's some resources. It's utahdivorceplanning.com. They're in Ogden and they do a free consultation. So if it's just about, and go to their website, they have a lot of, lots of things to offer there. I have a friend, Landon Moser, at omnilens.com, and he will give you some free, advice on budget planning. So that'll help. Then there's divorcereferralnetwork.com, absolutely free if you want to, get ideas of who to use for things. Then there's a new one that I just saw called utahsinglemommy.com, and I posted that on our Facebook page, and that has tons of resources. So absolutely free. And then Liz Dalton, she is I believe there's a free consultation if you call her up, but she is a family law attorney, but she doesn't practice, she does mediation. So instead of both of you hiring an attorney, you can hire her at a very lower cost than both of you hiring an attorney, and she will negotiate your divorce settlement. So those are resources I did not know about at all going through my divorce. So I will also put those in the show notes. So look around, find out if you, I don't know, so many people dislike attorneys. I don't know, I haven't met any of them personally that I've liked. So I'm not going to give you any resources there. So you'll have to find your own. But read books again about divorce. Now let me say, so Larissa says the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints has free self-reliance classes in varying topics. Okay, and then it says click more. So yes, that's great. So look at Larissa's comment, and then Daleen also says there's free legal clinics that you can ask your questions to. And yes, there's also that, and I'll put that in the, yes. I think, you know what? Single Mommy, utahsinglemommy.com has those. So, and it has the phone number and everything. So check that out. Okay, so that's during your divorce. Okay, now we have after your divorce. The settlement's been done. You know exactly what you're going to make. It's all signed. It's all done. You need to figure out what's important now. And that is, again, the WIN groups. Keep going to the WIN groups. So home decorating isn't really a priority right now, okay? I kind of look at, for money-wise, what is a priority? So when you get dressed, you definitely need undergarments. You need socks, shoes, a shirt, and some pants, and maybe a jacket. But you don't need jewelry. You don't need hair products. You don't need scarves and accessories. And so I view it as you need the essentials and you need the basics, and all those accessories you will get later, but you don't need them right now if you're tight, if the dollar is tight, okay? So think about what's important. You can go to, so you're gonna have to put yourself on a financial diet, okay? That's what I call it, and downsize your accessories. And you can shop at the DI. You can shop at the Goodwill. You can shop at garage sales and Savers. And for my kids, what I did, I wanted to still eat out, but it was not affordable. So eating out was the Costco snack bar. I mean, you guys, you can't beat it. It's $1.50 for a hot dog and a drink. This is the best deal in town. And then the pizza's not much either. And I know it's not the best food. They have sandwiches and they have salads and stuff like that. And if you're not a member of Costco, I think you can still go to the snack bar, because you can walk in the exit and the snack bar's there and they don't ask for your membership. So I think you can still do it. So I love that. And of course, Sam's Club. I love the Sam's Club snack bar. I liked Costco better, but that is where I would always take my kids to eat. And even to this day, I took my kids, I said, we're gonna go somewhere special. And I go, where's the closest Costco? And they went, Mom, no, not the Costco snack bar. And I thought, it's so it's a habit now. So I went, okay, I guess we can go to Firehouse Subs, because I started with snack bars there, and then you work your way up to a place that doesn't have a server, so you don't have to pay for a tip. And then you can work your way up from there, of course, and go to places where there's servers. But I don't think kids really care. They just want to go out and they just want a good time. And Matthew says he loves the Costco snack bar. Right on. Yes, I love it too. I usually get, oh my gosh, I can't even pronounce it. It's that yogurt, ACAI. I always mispronounce it. It's $4, but I share it, and it's so good. And that's what I get there. And then there's also smoothies. Smoothies, that's what I get. My kids get pizza or the hot dog. Actually, lately they've loved that turkey sandwich, but you have to cut it yourself because they don't cut it for you, so you have to ask for a knife. Okay, so Costco snack bar. I've now been a spokesman for them. Sell items that you don't need anymore. So I did this, and you can go to KSL. You can, you know what? We'll do that on our second half of side hustles of some places that you can sell your items. It's totally worth it. So look around your house. You might have to sell your house at some point. What are you taking? What are you not? That will help you. Sell the items that you don't need, clothes, all of that. Now is the time you get your job or you go back to school, okay? So this is a good time to figure out, do you want to do a career? Do you want to work your way up? Do you just want a part-time job to just have a little extra money? Those are things you should have kind of worked out during your divorce, but it took me a bit. It took me a bit. I decided not to go back to college and to start my own business from home. And that's what I'm doing, because I can't work. I did 2 jobs where I worked outside of the home, and my kids were a mess. And for me, I want to work up the career ladder, and I wasn't going to be able to do that from a job that wasn't at home. And also for me, I'm in my 40s, and I worked with a lot of millennials. Bless their hearts. I think they're wonderful and lovely, but I had a hard time. I wasn't their manager, and working with them or under them was not good. And they are great at technology, but they do need guidance, and they like to think they don't, and it was just kind of interesting. But I love millennials, so I think they are so smart, even though now I'm kind of lacking in technology. They're always there for you. They got your back there. Okay, and then you need to change the way that you look at money. So I thought of this. I always went, okay, I need this amount of money to pay my bills, and a little extra would be nice. And instead, I read something or someone said, no, you figure out how much money you want to make each month, and then you work backwards. So that helped me kind of look at it. Like, if you could make anything a month, what would that be? for you to have the life that you want. And I've never thought of it like that. Like anything, do we all say like, I'd like to make $1 million? Well, what's going to happen? This is how you get to that, a month. So how much money do you need for the lifestyle that you want that's realistic each month? And you got to take your taxes out and all that. And then you work backwards from that, which that's a whole nother that's a whole nother Facebook Live. So here's some good resources, okay? Books, The Good Divorce, I found that very helpful. And then here are 2 books. Oh wait, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, I have not read, but I heard it came highly recommended. And Richest Man in Babylon is a short read, but it is great. It really helps you the way you view money. Okay, podcasts that have to do with money. I listen to Motley Fool. It helps me with stocks. I have a TD Ameritrade account that I do my own stocks. I buy and sell my own stocks. And so I don't have to pay for someone to do that for me. But if you need to do that, there's lots of companies. There's like Edward Jones. That's who I went to. I'm sure there's Fidelity. There's companies that would love to do that for you. Then there's Divorce and Your Money. It's a podcast. Oh, you love that book? Which one, Daylene? The Richest Man in Babylon? So podcasts. There's Motley Fool, Divorce and Your Money, and Divorce Team Radio. I found those to be very, very helpful, okay? Facebook groups, Daylene just told me about this one, Rat Race Rebellion. Those are jobs that you can do from home. And then the Work at Home Woman. So I have just started kind of following these, and that will help you we can cover that in our side hustles. Then local resources, I've already covered these, but I'll give them to you again. UtahDivorcePlanning.com for if your divorce is just about finances. OmniLens.com. Landon offers financial advice and budgeting for free. And DivorceReferralNetwork.com just has a list of like lawyers and people that you can use. UtahSingleMommy.com has all kinds of resources that I found very helpful. It went from everything as like housing and food stamps and government help and all of that. It was great. And then Liz Dalton, she does mediation if you want to hire her instead of, and I'm wondering, so just type in Liz Dalton, Elizabeth Dalton, and you can find her. I did Elizabeth Dalton Bountiful. Oh, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. You like that one? I haven't read it. Okay, I can't wait. So those are the resources I have. That is what I know. I'm glad that you guys joined me here today, and I hope you have a wonderful weekend. Thank you for coming. Thank you for commenting. It makes me feel like I'm not just talking to air. And let me know if there's any questions or anything. I'd be happy to answer. Okay, until next Friday, have a great weekend. Bye.